Oh, good, then we'll wait 1 minute then. He thought he was gonna be late.
He was parking his car. He was doing just as I was.
Perfect.
Maybe we can try talking to the president.
Who's on?
Nobody?
It's the way that we can stream it so that people can watch online. It's just distracting.
Okay. I didn't know if one of us was.
There's quite the lag too.
I think it's the Adam's eyes over here.
Yeah, he's very corporate oriented, very corporate
Oh,
oriented.
there is. I think that's why when people raise their hand on the board meetings too, that there's that.
11 seconds. That's bad. That's real bad.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
Uh,
Now, keep in mind, that is going through the owl, through my computer and projecting to the screen. So it could be the computer to screen delay and not necessarily the streaming delay.
Yeah.
So it could be just, yeah, there's no telling.
Is the county here still on cable or they got fiber now?
That's a good question. I do not know.
Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's after 5. So the March 14th meeting of the Fluvanna County Economic Development Authority is now called to order. Everyone should have received a copy of the minutes from last month. Do we have any discussion on them before I call for a motion for approval and acceptance of the minutes? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
That's a move.
Motion by Curtis, second by Loretta. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. Okay. So the chair's report is, I'm going to hold off on the treasurer and the chair's report and ask Lois to go first with EdTech, because I'm hoping that Ben gets here so we can do the treasurer's report.
I'm sorry, I can't read and I can't see. I apologize. Oh, that feels so much better. Is this okay by everybody that I took it off?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, EdTech conducted its annual organizational meeting. The following officers were elected: Nina Moore, Chair; Tricia Johnson, Vice; Lois Mastro, Secretary. Each position was unanimous vote. Andy Sorrell opened a discussion for a vision and strategic plan. The committee felt that the historic resources and cultural heritage and economic tourism would be essential to the community planning in the comprehensive plan underway. There are 4 corridors: US Route 15, 20, and 6 should be more developed, and signage for Fluvanna County at their entrances. County support needed for the above mentioned increasing housing, temporary housing, motels, and B&Bs, plus tourism gift shops. Patricia Eager mentioned that during the pandemic lockdown, the county's revenue increased. When residents did not leave for work outside Fluvanna, our revenues increased. Nina Moore mentioned QR codes on Fluvanna billboards and Wayside 2.0. She was very reminiscent of when she was a child and what they would do here. And so, she talked about this chicken place that made fabulous chicken in Gordonsville. Do you know it? Oh, okay.
I don't know that.
We need to consult with VDOT on historical markers, parking, turnarounds, easements, and right of way. Jenna Schmack reported that we visited 8 businesses, 11 other economic development activities, 2 business prospects, small business referrals, and worked with Sandy Dubé of Platinum PR on economic development strategic plan. A working copy will be available in mid-March.
So what's the feeling from EdTech? Because that was the first time you had a meeting in a couple of months, right?
Yes. Oh, I failed to mention that Andy left.
He's off the committee completely?
He's working very much in Richmond. He
for
can't
that.
handle it. So the position is open and Peggy's interested.
Are those by district or the?
This one's gonna be at large.
At large?
Oh, Andy's is at large. I'm assuming that it's gonna stay at large.
Yeah, should.
Okay.
Good. All right, well, that's great. Any questions for Lois? All right, hearing none. I would ask Ms. Schmack to give us a county report while I try to
Okay.
find our treasurer.
He was right behind me. I waved to him and he waved back.
So 9 existing business visits this month, or I'm sorry, the month of February. 14 partner agency networking events, conferences attended, 14 of those. Other activities, these are the things that don't fall in any of the other categories, but we want to keep the, track them for metrics purposes. Prospects, we had 9 last month, so really excited that the inquiries are really starting to get up.
So, and those are from outside the county?
Yes, well, there are 2 that are potential expansions. So 2 are in the county out of those. But they are scattered all over the county. So there's some activity brewing up in Zion, a little bit of stuff going on in the Lake Monticello area that would be more commercial. And there's some interest down in Fork Union starting to pop up. So they're really interesting. 4 small business referrals as well. So those have popped back up again.
And what does that mean? Can you remind us what a small business
So,
referral is?
So small business referrals can be one of 3 different partners that I send them to. It'll be Small Business Development Center, it'll be Virginia Careerworks, or it could potentially be another referral of another location. Sometimes it would be Community Investment Collaborative. It just depends on what type of assistance the business will need.
So they came to you asking for help and you were able to connect them with?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And 2 of those have actually had ongoing, they've had several meetings so far. So really excited that we're starting to really funnel out in the community some more. So that I will skip down real quick and cover Virginia Careerworks because it kind of follows along that line. So Virginia Careerworks, my office has been partnering with them quite a bit. We had a successful employer focus group last Thursday. It was so successful, I'm going to look at doing them more. So it was a group of businesses that came in. These happen to be HR managers. We were specifically meeting with Careerworks to let them pitch their services, but also kind of get a state of the workforce here. A lot of that I did get out of some of the strategic plan workshops that we've done, but again, that's a separate thing. So really wanted the businesses to feel comfortable and, at an off-site environment, non-governmental. So we went to Cunningham Creek Winery and they hosted us and also participated in the roundtable. But what we got out of that was, I will have a report later, waiting for Careerworks on their take back as well, or feedback. But what we got out of it was, and Ben's not here to hear this, Fluvanna County Public Schools is really starting to groom these kids or young adults for the workplace. So every one of those employers had a good story to tell. There's also some, one of the businesses works with the reentry program. So they've had some good experience as well. So a lot of different ideas and connections came out of this. So like I said, we're going to do some more, maybe quarterly. I'm not really sure how it's going to work out yet. In addition to that, I mentioned before that Virginia Careerworks is in Fluvanna County on Thursdays. Sometimes that day changes depending on, shuffles of special events in the area. I think Orange County is going to have a career day on one of our days. So we'll swap with them. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied. So we are also looking for a permanent location so that we can start advertising and saying Virginia Careerworks is here and you can find them between these hours. So I've got a couple of spaces that I'm gonna look at in this immediate area. Don't want to announce it yet just until we know that it's done. Additionally to that, we're going to talk with Small Business Development Center to have maybe some daytime dedicated time here in Fluvanna as well. So more to come on that. Hopefully that'll help create some foot traffic here during the day. Some other things that you're going to hear coming up, the Fork Union Commerce Park. We are working to have the additional parcels that we have purchased, the county has purchased. I think there's 3 of them. They are currently zoned A1 agriculture. We are having them rezoned to fit with the rest of the parcels of I1. It's a light industrial use.
So does light industrial also allow for retail? Does it also allow for use? Or do you have to get a?
I believe you might need a special use. I'm not 100% sure. I will get an answer for that question for you. I'm glad that I'm doing this because this will help me field questions ahead of time to know what kind of questions we're going to get in the community. So that's going to be a key to the Fork Union area, especially where I mentioned earlier that we're starting to get some activity going on down that way. So that more to come on that. That goes to the Planning Commission next month, I believe April, and then it'll be at the second meeting for the Board of Supervisors in May. Last but not least is the Economic Development Strategic Plan. We are working currently on our goals, our draft goals. We're planning 4 to 5 of those. So we kind of reviewed the SWOT analysis and all of the discussions that we've had. Sandy's team has culled through all of the data, and from that, they're going to identify the initial goals so that we can kind of go back and forth and kind of hash them out a little bit. So we're hoping to have a working draft to present to the board in April. That's it. Any questions?
No, just so I1 includes automobile sales, retail, wholesale, warehouses, car washes, contractor storage yards, financial institutions, lumber yards, medical clinics, machine shops, offices, light manufacturing, and research laboratories.
Some of those things are going to be proffered out. Car washes, for example, will be proffered out. No car washes in our park. Another thing that we will be doing is actually going through the renaming or the naming process to have an official name for this thing. So,
But that's pretty good because that's a pretty wide range of potential businesses. Those are all by right.
yes, but again, except for the ones we're going to proffer out. And off the top of my head, I know that we're proffering out car wash. Maybe it's automobile. There's also a waste, like a recycling waste, solid waste recycling or something that is also going to be proffered out.
So that might be in the I3.
With the employer focus group, is that just Fluvanna?
Yes,
Employers?
okay. So it started as a bigger collaboration with the region. And I believe Wintergreen hosted us. I get Wintergreen and Massanutten confused. I'm not.
It was Wintergreen.
So Wintergreen hosted us, and so we're with them. And we went up there, and it was very well received, very well put together. The only problem was it's a little far from Fluvanna to go. You know, Fluvanna businesses, I think. It was well attended by Albemarle, Charlottesville. I think there was one green business, but everybody else was Nelson. So that got us thinking, and like I said, through the whole collaborative effort, I was like, okay, if we agree to host it, will you come do this again just for Fluvanna? And so they did, and it, like I said, it was great. So.
On the reentry, what were they looking for, or are they providing for people for reentry?
So
Because supposedly 94% of the people that have left the workforce are over 50.
So re-entry is in from the corrections facilities, the corrections department. Yes. So they are returning to the workforce from obviously being. And
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
No, it's okay. It's a good question. Yeah. So
The one business in Fort Canyon.
I'm sorry.
The one business you said the probability in Fort Canyon is at the restaurant.
There is a possibility.
I know the reason. No, the reason I was asking because when I was going around about the business fair, the one individual kept saying he's trying,
Yes.
and he needs help.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure he's getting the help he needs.
Yes. There is some different evolving dynamics that we can talk about later, but yes.
Okay,
I am
good.
aware of that gentleman.
Yeah,
and I am planning to go down to Fort Union to meet with all of them.
Good.
So,
Awesome.
yes.
Any other questions for Jennifer on the report?
Can you just, what else did they talk about, the HR managers?
So we talked about the state, basically the state of the workforce. So one company uses, again, they go through the reentry program to get recruits. They talked about how their type of hiring, how they hire, which online application job posting boards that they use. So some of them are using Indeed and LinkedIn, some use Monster. There's a new one out. It's called it's not Clipboard. It's called something else. Something like a clipboard. I can't think of the name of it. It'll come to me in the middle of Rudy's presentation, I'm sure. So they talk about that. They talk about what's working, what's not working. So it's basically a full SWOT analysis of again, but it's a really focused group. So in this group, it was we had a light industrial, we had a home builder, we had it's not really home builder, home building supplies. There was hospitality, 2 hospitalities, as a matter of fact, but they were varying types. So yeah, there was quite a few different.
That would be a great article for the paper.
Yes, let me get the feedback. Let me get the feedback, and we should do that. So in addition to that, so not only do we want to work on just the focus of workforce, we also want to get into other topics of discussion. We're just going to branch out from there.
So what was it that they thought Fluvanna High School was doing a good job on preparing them for? Hard skills, soft skills, mix?
Oh, mix. So one had an example about customer service. One of them had just a strong work ethic. You know, I think one of those students was coming out of one of the career and technical programs. Without going into specific details, you know, because they are talking about students. So it was just a variety of things, but they were also comparing these Fluvanna students with an average student. So what we also got out of it is that there's another business that is hiring international. So 50% of their workforce comes from internationally.
Here in Fluvanna?
Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What are they?
They're in the hospitality business. So
winter being there, but I don't.
yeah, it's kind of loosely like a winter green, maybe with no mountains. So theirs are international. So but yeah, so then you also have the ones that are, I'm trying to kind of summarize the conversation without going into too many details.
You should get a release that you can talk about the businesses.
But you can, but the problem with that is FOIA. Business retention expansion conversations are confidential, and they are under FOIA. If I do a release, it releases everything.
Got it.
So we don't want to do that. I don't want to.
Let's just say that one of the businesses in the county that relies heavily on imported labor has been around for 50 years.
I know where it is. Yeah, I've heard of that.
But also like interviewing skills, and what they also said, one of the things that has been very troublesome is they go through the whole process, right? We're not talking about the students right now. We're just talking about workforce. They go through the whole interview process, and then they hire them and they don't show up. And I
Ghosted them.
so or they go through the process of scheduling the interview and they don't show up. So the Fluvanna students are interviewing well, so they are being prepped for that. They're wearing the appropriate attire. So, yeah. It was fascinating. I was really impressed with our students, so. Any other questions?
Any comments?
I think that Rudy was referencing that maybe, I apologize, maybe one of them, you can not say you're going to release the FOIA restrictions, but you can invite them if they wish to come and talk to us.
Yes, they can certainly come and talk. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be useful for the directors to understand the different kinds of businesses that are in the county, because not everybody has the opportunity to be on a chamber board or something like that.
Funny you should say that. So as we advance our economic development strategic plan, and when we get to the next phase of this, something that we know is not going to be surprised is business retention expansion. We know that that is going to be on our radar because it's on everybody's radar. There are several ways to form a business retention expansion program. And one of those is, in addition to similar to ambassadors, would be to have EDA members, when you have time permits, to accompany me on these visits. If there's an interest, reach out to me, on or offline.
After April the 18th.
You got it. And just tell me what type of businesses you'd like to see or like to go to. And then I'll just say, hey, look, I'm going to this company that hires 50% of the, and would you like to come? And then, I can schedule it from there.
Okay.
So let me know.
Yeah, they actually have a really good opportunity for a case study on what happens when the world shuts down.
Yes, it's fascinating. Well, and so it gets into a lot of other conversation. Childcare as an employee benefit. We've got another business here that is looking at potentially standing up childcare for their employees in their business.
Wow.
And it's going to be a heavy lift, but it's going to be rewarding and I think pay off eventually. Once they get the proper
How many
permit.
employees do they have?
Over 100.
Wow.
Yeah. And so and that goes back to why aren't these people going to the next level of working? What can we do as employers help them succeed? And one of those business benefits could be childcare. So again, it was a whole varying conversation.
Especially for lower paying jobs, they offer on-site
Sure.
childcare.
Exactly. I mean, because childcare is like what, $14,000 a year, easy. So I mean, it's a big benefit.
Control.
So
All right, anything else for Jennifer? All right, I am going to hope that's Ben walking in the door. But probably not.
I don't see anybody walking.
All right, then I think what I'd like to do is just wait just a little bit longer, open up for public comments right now. Peggy, if you have anything you want to share with me.
I'm just here.
Any
serving
questions, comments, observations? Want to introduce yourself and tell us about the farmer's market?
I'll do that.
There you
Okay.
go.
I'm Peggy Shanklin. I'm a realtor with Long and Foster here at the lake. But what we're talking about now is the farmer's market starts April 3rd from 11 to 2. We're having more and more vendors come this time. Last year we started in August, which is a great time to start a farmer's market. But everybody that we had before, all of our farmers are planting more, and we're getting more farmers in, as well as arts and crafts people. We're going to try to expand the grassy area where Ace Hardware is. We were going to build an amphitheater, however, that grassy area is going to probably turn into a strip mall at some point. So, yeah, they won't let us. But we are looking for donations of $150 for picnic tables, so that people have somewhere to sit. We'll have live music every week. And we don't charge our vendors anything. There's no money exchanging hands at all. The rules are come, be nice, come, stay, pick up the trash. That's it. You do have to have insurance coverage, which if that's an issue for anybody. I have an insurance agent. I have 2 that will work with them. And that's it.
And the organic?
Hmm?
Organic?
Yes, not all, but I think 2 are.
Well, what do they? Are they meat, are they eggs, are they?
Muddy Paws, I think is eggs and microgreens, of course, tomatoes. I mean, I don't know what they'll have at the beginning of the year, or with them in the beginning of the year. I do know that she's planting a lot. And the other one is Crickenberger Farms. Crickenberger.
Cricket.
Cricken, Cricken.
And
I think it's
he's
PURG.
bringing meats and focaccia bread, which is really good. And
You can find his stuff at
spinach.
Local Eats too. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was doing the Scottsdale market, but he said that here people actually come and shop. They're not just looking, and he makes much more money. Oh, and we'll have food trucks because they make more money here too.
Oh, wow.
Good. Any questions for Peggy about the farmer's market?
Is there a flyer or anything? Like, I haven't-
In my car.
I can have her send it to me.
Send it to
Send
me,
it.
yeah, and I can post it up on our,
Yeah.
on our website to get it straight up.
Okay, thank you.
Good, so that's the first public comments we've had in months. Yay, glad you were here.
You come next Wednesday?
We like public comments. Okay, anything else from public comments? If not, I will close public comments and turn over to our treasurer.
I saw him pull up right behind me.
You had us all,
I was gonna wait for him, and I said,
that we had
no.
us all anticipating you were gonna be here right at 5, and
Hey,
she kept looking at the door.
Yeah, I apologize for the delay. I had to take a call right quick. But if we go to the IDA account first, and
This
just,
right one?
yes, no, that's, we can say that though. We'll just start here with the CSCF account.
Apparently it likes them though.
Meeting.
I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
and this will be simple and fast because there are no changes from last month on this one. But the one thing I will hone in on is the actual balance, which is the funds that have been sort of allocated for the pitch competition. And that's what we have to work with. Other than that, there's no changes to that particular account. Thank you, Ms. Ginger. Okay, let's go to the comment.
Alright, so this one will open itself. Well, I thought it was gonna open itself.
And as it comes up, there are a couple of comments that'll be on the IDA, one of which is there are 2 outstanding checks that have not been presented to the bank.
I found it.
Chairman, I wasn't gonna say anything like that.
It was in an envelope with the word Rudy written on it, right?
I was getting to the point where maybe we should just cancel that and
No, I-
start over again. So that's,
It's the screen, that's the.
yeah, so I'll read it from here though, but that's one, the check that was written to Mr. Garcia about 4 months ago.
But who's
that-
counting?
yeah. And the other one was the one that was just written last week for the Fluvanna review. The support. And just to let you know, that check was written for $1,045 for the advertisements.
And that covers all of them that we agreed to, right?
And not in terms of dollar figure.
No, but in terms of the advertising that you need. Okay,
Correct.
I thought it did.
That
Very
is
good.
good. That is correct. That is correct. So I'll just go ahead and. Yeah, you get, okay, thank you, Jim. So I'm gonna hone it right on down to line 110. That just shows the activities for since the last time we met.
Hang on, Ben, I'm gonna see if she's there. We go.
And there was of course, there was a deposit of $641,967. And road 110 shows the payment of that same amount over to CBAC. So kind of in and out sort of arrangement. And then right below that is the wire transfer fee that made that occur. And then we collected some interest on line 112. And then the last entry is the one I just spoke of with respect to the Fluvanna review. When that comes in, then that'll be reflected. Well, it's already reflected in here, reflected into the bank. The only other other comment I have with respect to that account is that over the past 15, 16 months, we have conducted a total of 7 wire transfers, and the bank charges fees for wire transfers in the amount of $30 for each transaction or wire transfer. And that in our case, it's 7 times 30, which is 210. and I prepared some documentation / invoices for the chairman to review and sign if everything's in order, to be sent over to the county office for reimbursement on those. Also, and that's it for that account. The balance in the IDA is $32,548.85. That's the accurate balance.
But you've got some additional invoices as well, right?
Correct. Yes,
Not
sir.
just one for the county.
Correct, that's correct. But then, I think they're disjointed from this. That's why I just want to wrap up with the final grand total on that account. And then to finish up with, I have 4 other invoices. One is for, these are all related to the bonds that we have out. One to the county, this is not a bond, this is just, I guess, our line item, the EDA's line item to the Fluvanna County budget, where they allocate $1,000 to the EDA each year. And that'll be sent to the county for payment. The other one we have is for Mountaintop Montessori School. That's on Pantops. That's for $750. Like I said, the chairman will look at that and sign. The next one is the Region 10 Community Services Board Incorporated. Also a bond related item. And then the last one is SOCA, which is, it's a soccer thing. It's a soccer conglomerate in Charlottesville, also for $1,000. And I have all those ready, just waiting for the chairman to review and sign. And I think, and then the last thing I have is just the other account. You want me to bring it up? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay, so the other account is the opportunity account, and there have been no changes in that account. And then we've talked about it a few times, but in terms of actual activity, there has been no activity in that account for the last 30 days. Subject to your questions, that concludes my presentation.
Any questions for Ben?
Matt's back up.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Valerie, second by Lavelle. Any further discussion? All in favor? Retta, did you vote?
I said, aye.
I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. I said, aye, and then I clear my throat.
Chair votes aye as well. All right, so I'm going to combine the chair's report and the pitch committee report because they're basically all that's left on the agenda. So Lois and I both signed the agreement with the county to provide the pass-through conduit for the Cove affordable housing project. So hopefully that will start to materialize here in the next few months, and we'll see what happens. Just to refresh your memory, that's the one where it's a 30-year program where they're going to get some tax abatement, and they will pass the county. They will pay the county, and the county will pay us, and we'll pay them to keep them whole. So it's a pretty lucrative thing. Be about 120 units, I think.
124.
124 when it's all said and done, and it's going to target folks who live in the county who are 60%. An average of 60% of the average median price index. So this is really good stuff. The pitch committee, we had 5 businesses complete the training. Elephant's Trunk, Herbert's Wine Jelly, AG's Catering, Dewan's Home Improvements, I think is the name of it, but I'm not 100% certain. And who was the 5th one? It just drew a blank. Sweetheart Emporium, Herbert's Wine Jelly, Nina's Business. That's the one. That was the 5th one. Elephant's Trunk. So they are now in the process of meeting or planning to meet with counselors from the SBDC to finalize their pitch. The pitch will be on April the 4th. We will hold our abbreviated monthly meeting at 5 o'clock. And then as soon as we finish that, we'll go into the pitch competition. They will have 10 minutes for their pitch and up to 5 minutes for question and answer for each of them. The judges will be Shannon Beach from CIC, Chris Fairchild, supervisor from Cunningham, and Moselle Booker, supervisor from Fork Union District. And we will all be there to cheer them on. So really excited. I suspect there will be pleasant surprises at the night of the event, because there may be some opportunities for additional prize money to be awarded.
Were there 10? Were there 10?
There were 10,
And
only 6 of them started the training, only 5 finished it. The other 4 didn't start the training. So
That's where the 10.
yeah, we had 10 that were eligible and said they wanted to do it, and 6 who showed up for the first training and 5 who finished the training.
So everybody's gonna get something.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yes.
So how much were we kicking in beyond the
So we're doing
Grant.
the 4,000 from the grant, and then whatever it takes to make 8,000.
8,000?
So about almost 4,000, 3,600, 3,700, something like that. So there'll be a 5,000 and a 3,000 for the top 2 awards, and then we'll see what CIC comes through with.
And let's see a quick question, Mr. Chairman, and I don't want to get in the weeds and slap me across the head if I am. Small business, the definition thereof.
It depends on who you ask. Under 500 employees and $50 million is still a small business. These people have bigger numbers than I do.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So any questions for me about the event?
Where is it going to be?
It's going to be at the Lineman's Training Center on Salem Church Road.
So our meeting is going to be at the Lineman's Training Center?
Yes, ma'am. And at 5 o'clock.
Oh, it says so right there. Oh, what do you know?
I wasn't going to point that.
I can read.
So I'm pretty excited. These are 4 or 5 really hardworking entrepreneurs. So, and they've worked together through their course with CIC, so they've built some good relationships. And the entrepreneur training course that they went through to get them ready for this was pretty good. I sat through most of it, so it was pretty good.
We address that quick and,
Sure.
please.
Mhm.
I
The
agree
agreement.
with the agreement,
Mhm.
and more specifically, the units, the 124 units that was talked about. Are those units open to people coming into the community who don't currently live here?
I don't know the answer to that, but I think so.
Yeah.
So if I live in Orange or Goochland,
And you want to
From
relocate to
feeling like
Fluvanna,
a
and you want to
freedom.
relocate to Fluvanna County,
yeah, because they've got some good quality housing that's gonna.
so we would be attracting people to come into the county.
Yeah, it has federal funds, so it has to be open.
Anything else? Okay, Ms. Johnson Morgan, you want to give us an update on business fair?
Yes, I will. And roll value time in and in time. As of now, we have 43 vendors who have signed up. As I'm looking, a couple more signing up as we talk. Various businesses throughout the county, some businesses I didn't even know existed, especially the Herbert Wine and Jelly. I didn't know they existed. So they have signed up also. The advertisements are all out. We have a big banner down at E.W. Thomas for folks to see. Flyers, new flyers are coming out this week to advertise more for the public to attend. We gave the vendors a deadline of tomorrow to register, but of course, if someone comes in afterwards, we won't turn them away. We put ads everywhere, announcements everywhere. If you're out on social media, believe me, everywhere that I could find a place to put an ad, I sent it, no matter what county it was in. It's there. It did generate a few vendors to come in. Everybody is excited to come and display their merchandises, and we're trying to do everything we can to help them. And everyone who has registered, we've created a page on our website to advertise their business, the name of the business, who the owner is, the address, what they sell, a little blurb if they want to submit a blurb. It's free advertising. We're not charging anyone. This is a way to help. I guess right now we're just waiting until April 8th gets here when we try setting up. The big question, does EDA want a table? No one has said anything.
I will be out of town that day. I'll be up in York, Pennsylvania for the Masters Powerlifting Championship.
Okay, so I didn't know if there was anything you guys wanted to advertise about.
I'll open it up to the
Yeah,
group if any of you want to man the table. How long? What's the time on it?
well, with EDA, it doesn't matter. You just gotta let me know before April 9th. We'll just set you up.
I mean, but what time of day? Is it?
Oh, it's from 10 to 2, so. I did have a couple of businesses, Rudy, I will be sending your way, who are interested in financial help and taxes and books. Actually, one of them is my daughter, because I mentioned that to you a while ago. She's trying to get her LLC going, and she wants some advice. I suggested that she talk to you.
And if I can't help her, I'll send her over
Send
to
her to whoever?
SBDC. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, they're very interested in the event. I have explained to them that we probably be offering some smaller programs down the road to assist them. Maybe that's something we can work with, marketing, whatever, Careerworks or whatever. So we'll do that. So that's pretty much where we are. Ro, you got anything to add?
No, I think you hit it all on the head.
So we're doing good. Actually, I wasn't expecting more than 10 or 15. So
I'm excited. This is a
I
big
am
deal.
too. So
It shows there's a lot of pent up demand for something.
yeah. And again, I have been on the phone with a couple of these businesses who kind of are praising all of us for putting this on because they're, like I said, they're struggling and they appreciate all the help they can get from us to get themselves out of it. So
Do you a feeler for the mixture of retail type, small businesses, prices,
Services.
services?
I have here from insurance companies to nonprofits to veterinarians, book sales, wood crafters, interior decorators, food services. We have 4 food trucks coming.
Nice.
AG's is one of them. Eric's AG's is one of them. Tinsley's on the go is one. DeMary. They took over the new barbecue place, and Mo Italian Ice will be there. So we have that. Some construction companies, a company that does plant terrariums are here. Truist Bank will be there. Sports and wellness health, there's a nonprofit, there's a few nonprofits that are there.
Is that the one that Cynthia?
No, this was called Her Sports. Her Sports is done by Jessica Carter. You might recognize her. She was on the news a couple of weeks ago about her sports program.
She played basketball for Fluvanna.
Yeah, she's a Fluvanna graduate. So yeah, that's the general idea. Yes, that's all I get.
That might be a good thing to have. You can plug in.
Sure. Let's see who else here. Millennium Security will be there. Rose Business will be there. So yeah, it's a big mixture of a lot of small businesses. Some are LLCs and some are sole proprietors. Some didn't put where they were either anything, but
They probably don't know.
no, they don't. A lot of independent consultants. So
Seems to be a good mixture.
yeah, it's a good mixture.
Good. Yeah, you just got to get the public out.
Yes, so that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, putting stuff out, myself, Tammy and Sandra, going out, putting up flyers. I sent multiple flyers out today. I've advertised in all the local radio stations for announcements on the community calendars. It's all on there, from Charlottesville to Buckingham to Richmond. So we have a business from Richmond, but she's a resident of Fluvanna. Her business is actually located in Richmond, so she'll be here. She's been advertising it on her website, on her Facebook page. So, yeah.
What kind of business?
She is Chantel. Oh, it's the Chantel Worlds LLC. She just says retail.
Got it.
So, well, skincare products, hair care products, candles. So,
So what's the temperature about somebody manning a table for those 4 hours?
yeah,
Just,
it's if you want to, I mean,
But what would we have? We don't have
Yeah.
any literature, we
No.
don't have any conference, we don't have any product that we really, I don't
do
see
you
the
have
need.
anything, Jennifer?
I was thinking, so Careerworks has, so I'd like to talk with you separately about it, but Careerworks has expressed an interest.
yes, I talked to them at the CTE program,
Oh, good.
at the school.
Red
so,
hair?
Yes.
Yes, perfect, perfect.
Mhm.
So it could be that we just do a table that has a little bit of Small Business Development Center, you know, hey, come see us in Fluvanna, maybe a little bit of, well, I think the chamber might have its own table.
They do.
Okay,
Mhm.
so maybe it's just some of our stuff and,
I don't know what our stuff is. so
yeah.
We don't have any. You're
We don't
right.
have any. So I would, I feel a little bit guilty asking somebody to
That's
sit at a table with
But do
nothing
we
on the
have
table.
anything on the, what's the CIC program?
Oh, the Community Investment
Yes,
Collaborative?
because a lot of people don't know much about it,
Mhm.
just some information about it. Is it still something we're doing or?
We are.
Mhm.
I should connect you with, you have Shannon's email, Shannon Beach?
I think I do.
I would reach out to him
Okay.
and Rebecca Haydock from Central Virginia Small Business Development Center,
Okay.
because they may be able to team up. But they'd be a
Well,
good
they're in the
resource.
same office.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would make sense for them to be there.
Do we have any scholarships left or are we kind of empty on that? Like, do we have any business scholarships or,
No, we're using the rest of it for the pitch.
For the pitch.
okay, okay.
And we've got to.
Some of the communities, I did.
Unless
I
we
was
could
asking.
repurpose that $35,000.
Some of the communities do put money in for, you know, and pay for the tuition of 5, you know.
You realize that these two fine directors will be there?
But we will be working. We will be.
I'll be there.
At the table. Unfortunately, Ro will probably be maintaining his own table. But, yeah, we're gonna be too much running around to,
I'll be floating through, but I don't
Yeah.
know how long I'll be there.
Okay.
but it's, you know, if the EDA was interested.
Yeah, I certainly, in terms of the temperature, I'm not sure where I am on the temperature. But certainly, I think it seems like a good venue for us to show a flag of some sort. And I'm not sure we need a lot of things on the table to show. I mean, if we just list the pitch and the CACF and a couple other things that we've accomplished in the last 6 months, and this, you know, that's 3 things right there that are fairly significant. And maybe get some pencils or pen. We have 3 weeks, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just buy some pencil and pen from one of the online, and get them in a week.
So do I hear a Ben volunteer to work?
No, you
with
don't. But it just sounds like, because a lot of people are not, we're not like, planning commission where everything is nice and sexy, but the planning commission. A lot of people are not so keen on, the EDA. when you
Right, we're
mention
well versed
EDA.
about the EDA.
Yeah, and I think this is one way of also educating the public on what the EDA is and how they help to.
Whose contact information would we put on something like that? Could we put yours on there?
You can do the Economic Development Office in general. That is something that we'll talk about when we go through, is freedom of information, FOIA, otherwise known as FOIA, and potentially moving everybody over to have an accounting email for economic development.
That would make
stuff.
so much sense.
Yes. Because right now, if we get a FOIA request, each one of you have to dump your email boxes. So we want to, make it a little more secure for you guys. So that is something we're moving towards. I just haven't gotten that far.
Okay.
So to answer your question, I think it might be easier just to give them the EDA page or the Economic Development Office. We could do that.
Do you have anything on business retention and expansion? Because that would be kind of a target.
So I have a couple little flyers that we've done for some stuff. I've really held off on marketing materials until we get through the strategic plan to really identify our targets and all of those things. But I have the generalized flyer that I did for the chamber. The chamber directory might be a good one. It's a half page and it's got some of our information, kind of a high level overview of what we do. So that might be a good idea. I'm happy to work with whoever wants to do it, and we can get something together for maybe a static table. Maybe we can do it so that nobody necessarily has to be there, but you know, one of us can go by and refill it.
But I'll be in Washington DC that weekend.
Oh, gee, Ben. You just volunteered us all for work. You guilted me into helping, and then you're in DC.
No, I think I'll be
I'm kidding.
I can do it.
But what about, you know, all of Ben's things of what we accomplished? What if we did something like a poster, you know, that size? And, you know, EDA works for you, and, you know, the CACF scholarships and pitch night. And is that too much work? You know, that'll cost, you know, what, $20 or something?
You can do a big poster and get it printed up at, Staples for like $15-16.
Right. It's not
So
very
are we
expensive.
needed somebody to volunteer to do the artwork?
I think
She did this, was a really good job. She's clever.
so, but she don't have the time. I wish I could, but she.
So this is really well
But
done.
I think that this really is a good discussion though, because we should probably develop some stuff to hand out, because we're gonna have more opportunities to do this.
These are the flyers that I did for our scholarship program. And they're just basic flyers and they're about this big. And we had them at the CTE and people just walked around, looked at it and asked about the scholarship and stuff like that. Something like that, just something simple.
How much was
$16. I Staples printed them up. You can get it within a day. So this is just our banner. That was like $100 and some bucks. Wasn't it, right? Yeah, we have an actual banner that we take around when we go and do stuff. So no, actually, we ordered this online from an online vendor. Actually, the vendor is called Build a Sign. So they will build you signs, whatever size you want. The vendor who did my banner down there, they actually did that banner for me free because I had some free credit with them, and they just did the banner for the fair. So, so just an idea. I mean, I think it'd be good if the EDA had something since your name is on that banner. So it's up to you guys.
Anybody want to take lead on it? Because like Loretta, my bandwidth is tapped right now.
I mean, I can participate. I was joking about the Washington thing, but.
I mean, if you can put together some artwork and then work with Loretta to get the thing printed out.
Yeah, I could work with someone. Plus, at some point in time, you'd probably have to pay for something anyway.
Right.
You just have to get the sign off and. So I guess. If you want.
So I'm gonna put Ben's name down here.
Yeah.
I'm just adding you to my list.
Yeah, it's fine. If anyone wants to put their name, is working with the group.
I would just be cautious. I think it's gotta be really general, like Jennifer said, until we have the strategic plan out. You know,
Something, you know, Fluvanna Economic Development Authority, past projects, current.
Okay. All right, thank you.
The only other thing I need to mention is we did go to the CTE event. Thank you, Jennifer. And I did talk to Miss White at the school, and I offered to allow our group to give some community service, or if they want to come up with some extra credit points, if some of the students came by and visit through with the vendors, that we will sign off on there for extra credit points. Some of the ones that are in the to fill out that program. So she's working on something to see if that's something the kids are interested in doing, just to try to get the kids there so people can see how people run their small businesses. So That's the only other thing I have.
That's a valid point, because there are three marketing business teachers
Mhm.
at the high school. And that doesn't include the nursing classes, and does not include the cosmetology
Mhm.
Does
classes.
it include the ag?
Does not,
Does it include the guy building the little houses?
does not.
Mhm.
What I just did said does not,
So there's
but
like,
the CTE department does. But in terms of the ones you just mentioned,
Yes.
there are three teachers who concentrate on business and marketing
Right.
at the high school.
The EDA works with the CTE at the high school.
They do, there's a plug,
Well, can't we add this to that list of stuff?
that plug-in would be me and. She said, I mean, she said, yeah, I don't want to talk for her, but she attends in fact, we have one Thursday. We have the CTE, I guess if you haven't invited Ms. White should.
Well, yeah, I talked to her about it because I think it's a good idea. I did talk to some of the kids that were at the CTE program. And I told them about the event because we had our flyers there too. You know, if you want to learn how to run your business, come talk to a few people who are doing it. Maybe they can help you. And like one girl was in cosmetology. And I told her there were going to be some beauticians there who might be able to help her or tell her what she needs to do or mentor them.
The CTE that we do, can connect with some of these vendors.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's,
To help. Mhm.
yeah, there's a CTE advisory committee, a
Mhm.
board meeting on Thursday. And I'm invited to it, and usually you're,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
your
on that
predecessor,
group.
yes,
It's
you're,
Friday.
so you
It's 5
should
o'clock.
have gotten that invite too. And I'll talk to Ms. White tomorrow, with my old.
See what she come up with. Because I think it's a good idea to offer some credit, you know.
I mean, I
credits for the kids.
Yeah, I can't invite because I'm not at that level of food chain,
Uh,
but I'll ask Ms. White and let her, see what she
Nope,
says.
you're not on it.
Okay, so I sent her all the information there. Told her to just let us know if that's something they're interested in doing, and she was all hyped about it, so.
That's a good thing for the kid. In my view, it's a good thing because it's something tangible, something they can get out and roll their sleeves up and kind of see how this, and see a whole variety, different
businesses.
small businesses all in one
Yeah.
setting.
And that's all I have, folks.
Good. I have no update on the online marketplace. I want to go ahead and table that for the May meeting. I don't want to have it on the agenda for the April meeting at all. And going around the room, Ravel, anything to add?
Nothing there.
Lois? Curtis? No? Ben?
Nothing to.
Valerie?
Nope.
Jennifer?
So the only thing I want to add to that is the EDA does have to, they have to abide by county purchasing. So we'll need a second quote if we want to go with.
Okay.
So I'm just giving us enough time.
No, that's good.
So that's the only other thing I wanted to
Just
add
two
to that.
bids.
2 bids for the amount of money it is, unless the other one's crazy, then we want to see it. So we just need.
And specs with it.
Yes. Yes.
The question I was asking earlier about the insurance vendor and the school vendor. How do we get them paid?
Have them send an invoice to EDA and then get it to me in bed.
Okay, all right.
Because we've already approved the spend up to that
Okay.
amount, right?
So we're gonna be under the budget, so that's good.
It is
Okay.
good.
All right, great.
All right, hearing nothing else, I will call for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
And a second,
Second.
any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Chair votes